The surface of America is a facade. While millions navigate the glass and steel of modern cities, a secondary, silent continent breathes beneath their feet. Today, we peel back the soil to expose the structures that were never meant to be seen by the public eye. The map is deeper than you think. Number 1. Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center. Location: Bluemont, Virginia, USA. Deep within the Blue Ridge Mountains lies the Mount Weather Emergency Operations Center, a massive subterranean fortress that remains one of the most guarded secrets in North America. Established during the height of the Cold War in the 1950s, this facility was designed by the federal government as a shadow capital to ensure the survival of the United States leadership in the event of a nuclear exchange. Managed by FEMA, the underground complex is a reinforced labyrinth of offices, dormitories, and advanced communication hubs buried under meters of solid granite, capable of sustaining thousands of officials for months in total isolation. However, the modern evolution of Mount Weather suggests a shift from preserving lives to preserving intelligence. There are persistent rumors suggesting that the deepest levels of this facility have been repurposed into a primary node for the nation's digital survival. Many believe that behind those reinforced steel doors now lie massive, climate-controlled server banks housing national AI backups and the core data of the American state. With a surface area of 564 acres and a classified underground expansion, the facility's true capacity remains unknown. But one thing is clear: what lies behind the restricted zones of Area B raises questions about what the government considers its most valuable asset in the next world. Number 2. The Diefenbunker. Location: Carp, Ontario, Canada. Hidden beneath the quiet landscape of Carp lies the Diefenbunker, a 4-story reinforced concrete monolith designed to preserve the Canadian state during a nuclear cataclysm. Built between 1959 and 1961 under the orders of Prime Minister John Diefenbunker, this 100,000-square-foot underground labyrinth was engineered to withstand a 5-megaton blast. Behind a massive 1,000-ton steel door, it once housed 300 high-ranking officials, functioning as a silent command center that operated in total secrecy for over 3 decades before its decommissioning in 1994. Today, it is rebranded as a national museum, welcoming tourists into its eerie, industrial hallways. However, the transition from a top-secret bunker to a public site raises haunting questions. Some documents hint that while the upper levels are open for display, the facility's deepest infrastructure remains integrated into a larger, forgotten defense network. Many believe the Diefenbunker serves as a perfect distraction, a relic on the surface that masks active subterranean corridors still connecting to the modern security apparatus of the North. Number 3. North Bay Underground Complex, NORAD. Location: North Bay, Ontario, Canada. Deep within the ancient granite of the Precambrian Shield lies the North Bay Underground Complex, Canada's most formidable subterranean fortress. Carved 600 feet, roughly 60 stories, below the surface during the height of the Cold War, this city of steel and rock was built to survive a 4-megaton nuclear blast. Behind 15-ton steel doors, a 3-story building suspended on massive springs once served as the nerve center for North American air defense, isolated from the world and capable of operating in total lockdown for weeks. But the mission within these hollowed-out caverns has evolved into something far more mysterious. While its original purpose was tracking Soviet bombers, recent upgrades to its sensor arrays have turned its gaze toward the edge of space. The complex is now a primary node for monitoring space debris, and more critically, unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. Some documents hint that the facility's unique depth and shielding make it the perfect laboratory for analyzing signals that the surface world's interference would otherwise drown out. Many believe that what we are tracking in the deep silence of this granite hollow isn't just human-made debris, but anomalies that official records refuse to classify. Number 4. Camp Hero, the Montauk Project Site. Location, Montauk, New York, USA. On the desolate tip of Long Island stands Camp Hero, a coastal fortress disguised as a fishing village that served as the dark inspiration for Stranger Things. At its center sits the massive AN/FPS-35 radar dish, a 40-ton steel sentinel that once scanned the skies for Soviet bombers. Built during World War II and heavily fortified throughout the Cold War, this 754-acre complex is a maze of abandoned concrete bunkers and underground levels that were officially sealed in the 1980s. The site is shrouded in the Montauk Project legends, rumors of time travel and psychological warfare. But the mechanical reality buried here is far more tangible. Recent investigations into the facility's lingering electronic footprint suggest a different, more strategic purpose. While the public focuses on science fiction, there is evidence that Camp Hero's primary mission evolved into the research of extremely low frequency, ELF, waves. Some documents hint that the massive energy consumption of the site wasn't for radar alone, but to turn the entire peninsula into a giant antenna for deep-sea command. What many mistake for a relic of the past may have been the birthplace of a communication network that still ripples through the dark waters today. Number 5. Fermilab, Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory. Location, Batavia, Illinois, USA. In the flatlands of Batavia, Illinois, a chilling contrast serves as the ultimate camouflage. On the surface, a herd of American bison grazes across 6,800 acres of silent prairie, a scene from a pre-industrial past. But beneath the hooves of these ancient beasts lies a mechanical titan. This is Fermilab, a sprawling campus dedicated to dismantling the laws of physics. At its heart is the PIP-2 project, a next-generation linear accelerator designed to propel particles through a subterranean void at nearly the speed of light. The duality of this site is intentional and unsettling. While the bison act as a living relic of the old world, the PIP-2 is forging a future where the smallest building blocks of the universe are weaponized. Some documents hint that the intense study of neutrinos, so-called ghost particles that penetrate solid lead as if it were air, is the primary objective. Many believe that mastering these particles would grant a superpower the ability to communicate through the planet's core, bypassing every known form of electronic detection or interference. Behind the rustic facade of the Illinois plains, we are not just observing nature. We are attempting to control the fundamental code of reality. Number 6. DUNE Caverns, Sanford Underground Research Facility. Location, Lead, South Dakota, USA. 1.5 kilometers beneath the rugged terrain of South Dakota, where miners once tore gold from the earth, a new and far more elusive hunt is underway. This is the Deep Underground Neutrino Experiment, or DUNE. Carved into the remains of the historic Homestake gold mine, these gargantuan caverns are now a silent, reinforced sanctuary for high-stakes physics. The facility is buried under nearly a mile of solid rock, a natural shield designed to block out the constant bombardment of cosmic radiation from the surface, creating one of the quietest places on the planet. But the silence is deceptive. At the heart of these caverns lie massive steel cryostats filled with 70,000 tons of liquid argon, chilled to a staggering 184 degrees Celsius. This supercooled sea is designed to catch the ghost particle, the neutrino, an entity so small it passes through solid matter as if it were a vacuum. While official reports state the goal is to understand the origin of the universe, the sheer scale of the investment raises questions. Some documents hint that mastering neutrino detection at absolute zero provides a hidden strategic advantage. The ability to map the interior of the Earth or monitor nuclear signatures across the globe without ever touching the surface. Behind the freezing argon lies a window into a reality we are only beginning to perceive. Number 7. Sudbury Neutrino Observatory, SNOLAB. Location, Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. 2 kilometers beneath the surface, embedded within the active Creighton nickel mine, lies SNOLAB, the deepest cleanroom facility on Earth. This sterile void carved into 2 billion-year-old rock was the site of the discovery that earned the 2015 Nobel Prize in Physics. Here, scientists monitor massive detectors filled with heavy water to witness the elusive flicker of solar neutrinos. But to reach this high-tech sanctuary, one must first endure the descent into a dark, industrial hell, followed by a purification ritual that borders on the obsessive. The superclean protocol is absolute. Before entering the lab, every individual must undergo multiple chemical showers, transition through high-pressure airlocks, and don specialized, fiber-free suits. The goal is to eliminate even a single microscopic speck of dust, which carries enough natural radioactivity to blind the detectors. However, the intensity of this decontamination raises deeper questions. Some whisper that this extreme isolation and sterility are not just for the sake of physics, but to ensure that whatever is being synthesized or observed in the deep silence remains completely untraceable to the world above. We are looking for the origin of the universe in a place where even a breath is a potential contaminant. Number 8. Las Vegas storm drains. Location: Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Beneath the blinding neon of the Strip lies a shadow city, a 600-mile network of concrete arteries designed to protect the desert oasis from sudden, violent deluges. This subterranean labyrinth is the domain of the Mole People, a marginalized society of thousands living in the damp darkness of the flood channels. While the surface world gambles billions above, this hidden population navigates a brutal, forgotten infrastructure where light never reaches. It is a world of reinforced concrete and echoing silence, a stark contrast to the excess of the city overhead. However, the catastrophic flash floods of 2025 changed the dynamic of this underground world forever. Following the surge, an advanced network of early warning sensors was integrated into the deepest sections of the tunnels, ostensibly to protect the inhabitants from rising waters. But the sophistication of this tech raises deeper questions. Some documents hint that these sensors track more than just hydraulic pressure. They monitor movement and biometric signatures within the maze. Many believe that the 2025 floods provided the perfect pretext for the state to install a total surveillance net over a population that was once completely off the grid. Behind the guise of public safety, the last ungoverned space in Vegas is being mapped, monitored, and brought under control. We have mapped the invisible. This is the global insurance policy of the elite and the scientists alike. What we have uncovered is a silent shift in the architecture of power. The surface is for the temporary, the deep is for the eternal. We must recognize that the dark is no longer a place of fear, but a place of fortification. The map is complete, but the story beneath our feet is only beginning. The underground is not just darkness, it is where humanity lays its firmest foundations.